Es un clásico de los 90 que tiene casi 30 años y un montón de momentos memorables. Pude hablar con el diseñador de producción de esta película llamada Clueless sobre cómo fue construir ese mundo perfecto en el que parece vivir Cher. Mira.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contre with our latest interview.
It was an
Ya.
amazing ensemble. It was an amazing ensemble. And tragically, Brittany Murphy passed, but it was a wonderful family. And, the difficulty with a situation like that is when the movie ends, there's a little bit of emptiness. And not all films are like that. Some of them, you can't wait for them to end.
Whatever. Did I miss something? Is Big Hair back?
I was seeing everything for the first time. Beverly Hills, these incredible mansions. And the scouting process was one that was just, well, it was just so exciting because I got into so many homes. There was one home that I went to, we knocked on the door. This is while we were scouting for the main house.
Yeah, the mansion.
And the mansion. And I had gone to one home in Holmby Hills, and the front door was answered by a Chihuahua. And shortly, who was in the sweater at the time. And then I looked up, and then there was a housekeeper who had answered the door. But ultimately, the mansion that we found was in the valley, in the San Fernando Valley. And the owner was getting ready to move out because, if you recall, it was not too long after the big earthquake of '94. And he was planning to move out to have some earthquake repairs.
Oh.
So I convinced him to just move out, let me do some cosmetic work, and we completely changed the interior. Not completely, but with a lot of paint and wallpaper and carpets and things of that nature. But he moved out. It was the perfect scenario. But then he had structural engineers come in and make it safe again.
What the hell is that?
A dress.
Says who?
Calvin Klein.
Cher was the centerpiece of the film. And the idea was to let her shine. So there were many times where I just sort of backed off to let the clothes, to let the costumes make the statement. In some respect, a lot of the art built her personality in the house. In terms of the colors, I stayed rather muted. I used a lot of grays and warm tones, just so that the wardrobe, the costumes would stand out. It was a total collaboration. We talked about everything every day. It was, every morning on the set, what's coming up tomorrow? These are the colors we're using. This is the palette. What are you doing? Just to make sure that we blended. And also the set dressing was something. The art was very important part of that. We had exhausted a huge amount of local Venice artists at the time, and they were all very, very happy to be involved in the project. We had some amazing artists because in the early '90s, there was a school of artists in Venice that were just cutting edge. Well, I'm not sure about Easter eggs, but Cher's closet, which was extremely iconic. I built that in the pool house at the mansion. We actually built the set inside the pool house.
So that wasn't next to her.
No, and her bedroom was actually the dining room because
Oh.
I wanted a fireplace in the bedroom. So
Yes.
there was nothing up in the bedrooms upstairs. So we put her downstairs and did a complete redress of the dining room.
Yeah, so even though it was a mansion, it didn't have a huge bedroom, as you might imagine.
The master bedroom was huge, but that was it. Yeah.
But why didn't you use the master bedroom instead of
there were scenes that were shot in there with Dan Hedaya that never made the film.
Oh.
So that was also, it was an active set, but it was cut.
Ew! Get off of me! As if. Cher's got attitude about high school boys. It's a personal choice.
Amy Heckerling is an amazing observer of life. And at the time, which was, some 30 years ago, she was able to sort of look at the culture of the rich and the privileged and do a wonderful, wonderful treatment about that. And I think, you know, I think a lot of that success was due to the people that don't live in that world. And maybe it was somewhat aspirational.
Yeah.
And also it was just a peek inside to see how the other half lives.
Yeah. I think
And the whole idea was just to sort of create a world that everyone wanted to aspire to.